All right, we're in round two. I forgot about, I'm sure there's already just a wealth of comments telling me I forgot about Hunt Pride's ability in that game three there. I could have just made the Screecher unable to block and win, but that's all right. I'll read all of those comments and know that you guys saw it too, so it's all good. Okay, so this lets us, what does this let us do? I guess it's like having two lands essentially. We're on the play. We can cast Path. We have a turn 3 Trailblazer potentially. Spellbound's a little bit out of the ways. Resounding Roar is not great. I'm not sure if this is a snap mulligan though. I think I'm actually going to keep it. It seems like there's enough things here making this hand okay. I mean, clearly it needs some work, but what hand doesn't? I guess Trailblazer, if I only see if I only see forests, that'd be pretty awkward with Trailblazer. All right, well there you have it. That's fine. All right, so we get a turn 3 Trailblazer as a 2/2, which seems fine. Plow Beast, not too bad either. Could potentially find our island off of it to make Trailblazer a 2/3, I guess. I actually like Viscera Dragger. I used to play that way back in the day. Actually, Sanctum Plow Beast is pretty good here. Like I said, it lets us find our island to make this a 2/3, but it also gets us closer to, well, it lets us play Resounding Silence and leaves us a red mana away from our Spellbound Dragon, which seems good. Ah, border posts for days. Ooh, it's a little bit awkward. Guess it still technically works, though. Alright, cycle for an island. Play an island. And I guess we can, end of my opponent's turn, cycle for another plains, maybe? Seems fine. I don't really need a 3/6 blocker so much, I guess. I don't have any double white in here, is that right? I probably still want another white mana. Well, yeah, I guess. Pro white, sure. Can't path that. Thankfully, our deck is full of all sorts of different dudes. Alright. I can't Resounding Silence or path that. I do have ample removal in my hand, though. Uh-oh. Discards a card at random. Well, I don't know which one would like the least. Oh. Probably that one. Yeah, Creation Squire is nice. Alright, we'll take our medicine here. Ooh. It's a good rip. Oh, wait. It's got Exalted. Whoopsie. Exalted. The main reason to pre-combat spells. Well, now I'm actually... Well. Yeah, actually, I guess I am kind of happy I saved it. My mistake paid off. He's main decking Ignite Disorder, too, which is kind of unexpected. Alright, let's drop the Avenger. Alright. I kind of want him to pump again to think he's got lethal, because right now it's not lethal, right? 3, 5, 7, so we'll let that resolve, see if he's got anything else. Might of Alara. So he did go for lethal, which is sensible. But we can just path here. Okay. All right. Cool. Got there. Game 1. Didn't have to show more resounding sounds, but didn't even have to get our red mana. Maybe randomly discarding Spellbound Dragon was actually for the best. All right. So we're playing against Omega Pump Deck, which I suspect Resounding Silence and Path are going to be pretty nice against. Guildspire Avenger, quite a bit worse, but that's okay. Night Captain's going to be great against it, though, too. So we actually have some great answers for that. Unfortunately, like I said, the Ignite Disorder main deck is going to be a problem. Definitely. But it's not like a huge problem. We actually have quite a bit of fatties in here, so it's not that big of a deal. It's just it can get us pretty good, potentially. But so be it. Let's run it back. I could do Valiant Guard, right? Because it blocks... Does not... What does it block? Blocks his Sanity Gnars. It blocks his Dregscape Zombies. Does not block Viscera Dragger. Gristled Liaotou just seems so much vastly superior to that. So let's just not bring in Valiant Guard yet. I don't know what I'd want to cut for it anyway. We're on the ramp it up plan for now. Maybe over Sanctum Plowbeast because it doesn't seem that great, but Our late game plan is pretty solid. If he had to use a trick to kill a Valiant Guard, that would be pretty good for us. He seems like he's pretty aggressive with the combat tricks too. Maybe I do want Valiant Guard. And do I really need a Sanctum Plowbeast? It's one less planes. How many does that make for us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We still have enough. Screw it. Plowbeast is gone. Yeah. I guess this hand will do. The Gleam is kind of bad, but we've got our Resounding Sounds. Thing is, we get to... I think we're just going to hardcast the border post, right? I don't see any need to play it on turn 1 now. If it ramps us to 5, it seems better. Ooh, yeah, it definitely seems better now. Alright. I mean, maybe we just leave up Gleam now. I guess getting a second green could help our mana. It also... Well, Gleam could be good with the Knight Captain, though. No, I think we'll leave it. Alright. So we get Knight Captain next turn. We want to hold off on the Ziggurat as long as possible because Resounding Silence. But we can't Resounding Silence his pro-white fellow. Okay. Let's see what our opponent gets here. Viscera Dragger and Swamp. That's pretty good for our opponent, but not like busted. Nothing to be overly concerned about. Alright, let's get the Knight Captain out here. So Gleam is a lot better when you've got a bunch of soldiers, so I'm kind of glad I did not cycle it. Especially since we have all of our colors at this point. We're just kind of looking for our 5 and 6 drop bombs, of which we have quite a few. No attacks with Outlander. Alright. Well, I wasn't expecting that. So, Shambling Remains. That card's pretty good. I probably want to Resounding Silence the Shambling Remains. Probably. Ooh, Beacon Behemoth's a good rip. So we just want to make sure we have our white mana up, I guess, for Knight Captain. Makes sense. That is sensible. So I'm debating whether I want to just take 4 from the Shambling Remains. Because these are pretty... Sacrificing a soldier to prevent all damage is pretty nice. Like, I'm at a healthy enough life total where I can afford to leave up just a ton of mana. Plus, now I'm 1 away from Cycle Resounding Silence. That lets us just exile 2 things, which is pretty absurd. Creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Okay. He has to sack it, though, so... Well, I guess the good news is I can gleam. Although, not sure how good the news is on that. We'll see. Twin Claw. All right. So if I gleam, I mean, it saves me from the suicidal charge. I kind of want to gleam to save my soldiers. Probably makes sense. So I guess I have to leave up gleam here. Seems worth it. We basically traded a gleam for a suicidal charge and saved all our soldiers. It definitely seems worth it to me. I would have expected my opponent to want to attack with Knight Captain there. But thankfully kind of played into our hands there by blocking with the Dregscape zombie. We are an actual land away from... The problem now, I guess, is just we're not going to... We're like... Well, I mean, exile up to 2 target attacks. As long as we hit this, I guess, we're just not going to be able to hit the Outlander. But it doesn't actually matter because we have the Behemoth now, right? Unfortunately, Twin Claw is a white card as well, so... Outlander is a problem. We have flyers, though. We've got some stuff going on. Okay. Hack Blade. Surprised he's not attacking with the remains. I probably would have there, especially since they can't block. All right, so we have our 8th mana now. But now I kind of want to get the Twin Claw down. So we can't cycle Resounding Sounds, but getting a double strike on this board with all of these goodies seems fine. But yeah, a Goblin Outlander certainly is a big problem for our deck. It's a big problem. We're so white intensive here. I mean, we have Spellbound Dragon, right? Megalanoth can trample over top of the pro, right? For like 4 damage. It only has to deal damage that would be lethal. So it only has to deal 2 of its trample damage to it. So we still have some pretty nice stuff. Plus, I guess Hunt Pride can't get around it. Dark Temper. Well, okay. Still surprised my opponent opted for that one. Does this prevent all combat damage? Well, that's not combat damage. All right. Guess I can't protect it. Ooh, okay. So I think we're just going to block and use the first Knight Captain, because I do want... I want to cycle this. Even if it's just to exile this. Ooh. That's pretty slick, too. Yeah, it's pretty good. Can cycle either one now. I guess it makes more sense to do that one, since I don't want him gaining all the life, I guess. But I can also... I can attack with... I think that we wait again. I think we're just going to use Resounding Silence. Obviously, I don't want to trade a Beacon Behemoth for a Jund Hackblade, but for now, let's just exile this fellow. We have a Naturalize out of sideboard too, which at this point actually seems good. Maybe I should have just brought that in based on the fact that we know our opponent's got multiple border posts. Maybe that should have been reason enough. So we exile that. No Unearth. We get to draw. Alright, it's a pretty big dude. That's a big dude too. Alright, so we can play Megalanoth. And then we can't leave up the Resounding Roar, but next turn we can attack for 12 with it. As well as draw a card, which seems pretty good. So let's just play Megalanoth. And pass. So we can sack another soldier to prevent him from gaining a bunch of life, I guess. Like I said, the Megalanoth can trample over top the Outlander, but he can re-equip the Behemoth Sledge to the Outlander, which could be a problem. See if he does it. I assume he does. Makes sense. Oh, he's equipping that one. All right. Ooh. Path is pretty slick. I have 9 mana too, is that right? 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, we have enough to... Jeez. Alright, let's swing with Megalanoth. Because then if he double blocks, I can path the Hackblade. And then I can still pump Megalanoth on defense. Pretty surprised he didn't do the Outlander. I don't really want to path a Hackblade, but I guess I can wait. I'm going to Resounding Roar block the Weaver anyway, right? Save the path for something I can't deal with. He's going to take 12 from Megalinoth. I mean, it's going to be a lot less, but... Ooh, this is good news for us. I mean, I can path it now, I guess. Grizzled Leotao. Okay. So, I kind of want to... I definitely want to block path. Because then he just takes... Alright. So I guess we play the Grizzled Leotao. And like I said, we want to block path with the Megalinoth. No other soldier creatures here. I want to see if he plays something if I double block. Really want him to use a pump spell here. And this, since I'm going to be pathing either way, I think presenting it like I don't have anything is a better idea. I mean, this is a pretty tempting offer, and we know our opponent's got Might of Alara, and he's got whatever the other one is. This is kind of an offer you can't refuse. He does know we have Path to Exile in our deck. Okay, well, did not take the bait, but that's not a huge deal. All right. Pro Artifacts. Ooh, Ari Mystics. Kind of like that. All right. So we'll play the Mystics. If I swing with Megalinoth, he can double block, and I basically have to trade a Hackblade for a Megalinoth. I don't love that. I think we're going to chill out. Keep our Shroud shield up as long as we can here. We do have a double Shroud shield, which is pretty nice. Okay. Okay. Still not a huge deal. I guess he can equip it, though. I guess it's a bit of a deal. Well, let me think about this. So, I mean, I can block with Megalinoth and Grizzled Leotao. He doesn't have any tricks. So I guess we probably want to do that. Problem is, I kind of need to keep my Beacon Behemoth alive so I can stop the Outlander onslaught. We're trading a Megalinoth for a Bull Ceradon. It's not a great trade, but at the same time, kind of feels like a necessary one. All right. Guess we sandbag the land. So he thinks we've got something here. I think I'm gonna wait a turn. I don't really want to trade Beacon Behemoth for Jund Hackblade. The main reason is, like I said, I can't deal with the Outlander at that point. Ooh, Pride Mages. Pretty much perfect. Perfect draw. So we've got Shroud Shield, we have cool Exalted stuff. So he probably has a combat trick, I'm assuming. Which is fine. Could actually just take the Outlander if he's got a combat trick. Why don't we just block the Hackblade with the Leotao? Because if he wants to use a trick on that, no problem. And then we'll blow up the Behemoth Sledge. Sure. All right. All right. Valiant Guard actually, well, it's not great, but it'll do. That'll do, pig. All right, let's give ourselves some vigilance. Smash for 8. Play Valiant Guard and pass. Might of Alara, we would take another 4. Let's just block here. Just in case. Mostly because we don't really need the Valiant Guard anyway. Okay, Rocks Brute. Sure. Oh my god. Talk about a sexy top deck there. Well, in our defense, we only have 3 of them in our deck. Yeah, that's a pretty slick top deck there, though, admittedly. Sweet. All right, grinded it out, made it to the finals. So we'll see you guys in just a little bit here.